Hi, today I'm going to talk about the translation of simile. Introduction. Simile is one of the most important literary devices. It is widely used as a figure of speech in literary works. However, simile can pose significant challenges in literary translation since different languages might use and interpret similes differently. Despite that, there are various kinds of figure of speech. Some are more popular than others. As Richards states that the two most common figures of speech are metaphor and simile. Simile components. Simile is divided into three major components, which are image, similarity point, and topic. On the other hand, Al-Jundi states that simile has four elements. Number 1, topic al-mushabbah. 2, image al-mushabbah bihi. 3, point of similarity wajh al-shabah. 4, the particle or markers adat al-tashbih. Comparators or indicators. Similes can be identified easily since they use distinctive markers or comparators such as like or as that are employed by the simile to express comparisons. Pani argues that English similes can be recognized via various indicators such as adjectives, the same as similar to, verbs, act like, look like, resemble, seem, sound like, conjunctions, as though, if, nouns, some kind of, sort of, and prepositions as and like. The comparator in Arabic can be a particle as ka, كأن, a verb as يكافئ, يضاهي, يشاكل, يضارع, يحاكي, يشبه, يماثل. A noun, مثيل, شبيه, عدل, عديل, ند, نديد, نديدة, خليق, سواء, شرع, نظير, قرين, وهكذا. Such indicators can assist the translator to identify similes easily. The function of similes in literature is to attract attention and appeal directly to the senses of listeners and readers, encouraging their imaginations to understand what is being communicated. It also brings rhythm, lifelike quality in our daily speech. Simile allows readers to relate the feelings of a writer or poet to their personal experiences. There are different purposes of using simile. Abdul-Rauf summarizes the functions of simile as follows. Number 1, to provide clarification as in الجمل كالزرافة دون سنام. The camel is like a giraffe but without a hump. 2, to identify specific features as in الحسد كالنار تأكل بعضها. Envy is like fire which eats itself. To praise someone as in أنت شمس وغيرك كواكب. You are like the sun while the others are just planets. 4, to dispraise someone as in يأكل أشر كالبهيمة. Asher eats like an animal. The translation strategies of simile. One of the difficulties of translating similes lies in the search for the best strategy to translate them. That is to say, whether they will be translated figuratively by looking for an equivalent in the target language or replacing them with non-figurative language, which sometimes entails using an expletive technique. I would like to refer to the potential strategies suggested by Pani to translate similes, from which the translator might choose the most appropriate for each simile provided to them. Number 1, literal translation, retention of the same vehicle, replacement of the vehicle with a different vehicle, reduction of the simile if idiomatic to its sense, retention of the same vehicle plus explication of similarity features, replacement of the vehicle with the class, omission of the simile. Examples. Number 1. Literal translation strategy. Peter Newmark has debated literal translation in depth. He argues that literal translation is correct and must not be avoided if it secures a referential and pragmatic equivalence to the original. He further explains that literal translation is the first step in translation. However, Newmark acknowledges that the literal method might distort the translation, as he argues that it should be avoided when it causes misunderstanding. For example, lions, they played like young cats. كانت هذه الأسود تلعب مثل القطط الصغيرة. السباع التي تلهو على الشاطئ كما تلهو القطط. In these two translations of Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea, faithfulness was the aim of both translators. Both translators used literal translation method. In this simile, the topic is lions, the image is young cats, and the point of similarity is playing. Since the elements found in the English simile are rather shared by both languages, there is no need to add or delete due to the fact that such aspects can be comprehensible in Arabic. Therefore, both translators prefer to use the literal translation strategy. 2. Replacement of the vehicle with a different vehicle. Langdon is as wise as an owl. Langdon حكيم كبومة. Langdon حكيم كلقمان. This strategy is used to replace the image of the simile in the source text with another image in the target text because it is usually more familiar in the Arabic culture. For cultural reasons, the owl is replaced for its association with bad omens. Three, reduction of the simile if idiomatic to its sense. For example, can it be as painful as the spur of a fighting cock in one's heel? هل يمكن أن يكون مؤلما مثل مهماز في كعب ديك يقاتل في مصارعة الديوك؟ هذه الترجمة الأولى. الترجمة الثانية: أتراها تؤلم ألم الديك عندما تتصارع؟ This simile compares bone spur pain, which is the simile's topic, to the spur of a fighting cock in one's heel, which is the image, while the point of similarity is pain degree. In this instance, the translator in the first translation preferred to be as faithful as possible to the source text by selecting literal translation technique. Nevertheless, the second translation, the translator reduced the simile to its sense, in which he compares the pain of bone spur to the pain experienced in a fight. This reduction has made the simile vivid in Arabic, since it is a common sense that the pain experienced in a fight would be so extreme. 4. Retention of the same vehicle plus explication of similarity features. For example, but do you think my hands were as great a handicap as the bone spurs? في الترجمة الأولى: ولكن هل تظن أن يدي كانتا تماثلن عقبة كالنتوء العظمي؟ ولكن هل يمكن ليدي أن تعوقاني عن العمل كما يعوق نقص العظام قدمي لاعب البيسبول؟ This simile is comparing my hands to the bone spurs. while the similarity point is grade a handicap. In this instance, the translator in the first translation used literal translation, while the second translator used retention of simile and explication strategy. Since this simile is not clear in Arabic, the second translator preferred to make it explicit. In the second translation, the translator compares "my hands disable me" to as the bone spurs that disables baseball players. The translator of the second translation added more information to make the source text simile explicit in Arabic while retaining the English simile at the same time. 5. Replacement of the vehicle with a gloss. Adopting this strategy means that the translator borrows a cultural word and gives a brief notation either in the text or in a glossary. The translator attempts to make the simile vivid and means to adding notes in the target language. According to Pani, it is the case when the topic is a proper name representing a cultural allusion. For example, literary quotations and references to people, places, events, songs, and films are culture-bound elements whose interpretation depends on word knowledge. Perini states if the translator believes that the target readership has the required background knowledge to interpret the simile, he can leave the simile unchanged. If the target readership does not, some modification to the source simile may be needed, for example adding some explanatory information. إن هذا الطاهي يصنع طبقا جديدا يبدو شبيها بالكبة. This chef is cooking a new dish that looks like kubba, a dough stuffed with ground meat. 6. Omission. Omission is one of the proposed translation methods by Perini, in which the translator deletes the simile. Translators usually tend to use this technique when they encounter translation problems that cannot be resolved and might cause confusion or considered unnecessary, or it is culturally unaccepted because it may insult a group of people or convey a violent message against them. For example, recently Mrs. Smith behaves weirdly as Annie damn whore. مؤخرا تتصرف السيدة سميث تصرفات غريبة. We can see that Annie damn whore is deleted. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you.